got something interesting in yesterday, and something interesting for an interesting reason. EVGA has decided to join the streaming world and has released a capture card. The thing that weirds me out about it is not the product itself, but it's the fact that neither myself nor, as far as I know, Epos Vox, nor Gaming Careers, or just any big streaming channel was sent one or even told about it. I found out about this on Twitter and bought it myself on Amazon. I've definitely seen this thing advertised on some big tech gaming channels, so they definitely have a marketing budget for pushing this thing on YouTube channels, but it's like they don't want the people who know how the products actually work to try it. So right off the bat, we're starting off with a little bit of a red flag, and I'm gonna try to ignore it and look at this objectively, but seems a little bit sus. So let's open this thing up, let's test it, and let's talk about a specific feature that might make this a pretty palatable option for a certain group of people. Before we get started, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Owned.tv. Owned is your one-stop shop for all your stream aesthetic needs, whether it's overlays, alerts, panels, profile pictures, whatever you need. And they recently released a brand new design on their channel called Alpha Gaming, which, yes, I was actually involved in, and I helped them make a product that was modeled after the style of this channel and was also good enough to the point where I felt okay throwing our name on it. So if you'd like to make the smart move like many of the community have done and pick up an overlay pack from Own.tv, feel free to use the link in the description below. If you use that, it also supports the channel. Also, if you'd like 40% off at checkout, make sure you use code ALPHA. And important reminder, capture card videos are always interesting because you can't test the longevity of the product. This thing might not work great today, but I have no idea how well it's gonna work 6 months from now. I did a capture card review like a year and a half ago, and it was a solid review. It worked really well. I even recommended it for a certain group of people, and then everybody I know who bought one 3 months later is like, oh yeah, my capture card stopped working. So we're gonna test out what we can test today, and if you wanna follow up with me like 3 to 4 months from now and see how this thing's still running, feel free to jump into my Twitch chat. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and we talk about a lot of tech stuff like that. So link in the description below. Cool. Let's open this. So I want to rank 3 specific attributes about this thing. I want to rate the build quality, I want to rate the functionality, and I want to rate the value. We're going to give it a score out of 10 in all those categories. And then also I'd like to compare it to both the Elgato and AVermedia cards, kind of in the relative same price category. This says OBS certified on it, by the way. Can you see that right here? I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully understand what that means. What is an OBS certification and why don't the other cards have it? I'm gonna be honest with you, that seems like a little bit of a vanity badge, but we'll see. The boxing is interesting. Huh. I actually was really liking the look of this until I picked it up. This thing feels like the cheapest plastic I've ever seen. And I don't understand what this knob on the top is for. Oh, it's probably a volume knob because you have a headphone jack on this side. Oh, you also have, okay. You can also push it directionally and twist it. And this top part feels like it's gonna break off in like 5 minutes. It looks kind of nice. I like the mirrored finish on the top. Let me see the box. Yeah, I haven't seen any pictures that really showed off the fact this is a straight up mirror on the top. And apparently there's like an LED grid that goes on here. So we'll plug it in, we'll check that out. We got USB Type-C for super fast connections. Got our HDMI in, got our HDMI out. This is a big card. Let me grab some other cards and let's do comparisons real quick. So here we have the Live Gamer 4K. Not a huge difference in size. I would say the Live Gamer 4K is a teeny tiny bit thicker as well. They're about the same weight. And over here we have the HD60S, which is the same price. This thing goes for $179, at least that's what I bought it for on Amazon. So you can see the HD60S is a good chunk tinier if you're looking to travel with this thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you throw this in a backpack, this top knob is just gonna break right off. Let's peel this thing off. Okay. I'm really torn. There are parts of the design I really like, and there are parts that I hate. And the weight is something I absolutely hate. It feels like a child's toy. But if it works well, then it doesn't matter. It is lighter than the Elgato, which is probably like a third of its size in terms of just overall, you know, mass displacement. But just to look at the three products here, we've got the HD60S, which is $179, which makes it the same price as the, what's this thing called? The XR1. And then we have the Live Gamer Ultra from AVermedia, which is $199. The reason I want to put this up against the HD60S instead of their new S Plus is just because they're the exact same price. The HD60S Plus, while it has a couple extra features, is another $20. It's $199. But the feature set of this is kind of between these two devices. And the thing that interests me the most, that I'm mostly excited to try, and I think is the most applicable, is the fact that it's the first USB, like external capture card that can pass through 144 Hertz while only capturing 1080p. Like this one can pass through 144 Hertz also because it captures 144 Hertz or 4K, it's more expensive. This only captures 1080p, which is where the price gets knocked down a little bit. But most capture cards that capture in 1080p but have a higher pass through, like the HD60S Plus, which can capture 1080p but pass through 4K 60, can't do 1440p. This one can. But from everything I've read, it sounds like there's a weird caveat to it. Yeah, looking at the specifications here, I'm already really confused because the pass-through goes straight from 1080p to 2160p or 4K. But then you've got another specification called advanced pass-through, and that allows 1440p 120 Hertz. What is advanced pass-through? I don't see anything else on here about advanced pass-through. Oh, press this button and hold it for 3 seconds. Enter/exit advanced pass-through. Is there any reason not to be an advanced pass-through? All right, so let's set up a PC here. We got a 1440p monitor right here, 144 Hertz. Let's test out this advanced pass-through and see how it does. Oh, wait. We got extra stuff over here. Here's a box of stuff. What? Oh, that's weird. It's got, what? What is this thing? You've got USB 3 at this end with 2 cables coming out of it. And at the other end, you have a USB Type-C and a USB Type-A. It's not like you plug them both into here. There's only one Type-C cable spot. So what's this for? Yeah, I don't see anything in the quick start guide about a split USB cable. Am I missing something? Is there like a slow start guide in here? Got an aux cable, got an HDMI cable. Why did they do this? They went through like all this extra effort to give you a weird double cable, and I have no idea what it's for. All right, let's plug it in. All right, we've got a streaming PC, which this monitor and this capture card will be plugged into. We've got our gaming PC down there, which is actually the 3080 gaming PC, which this monitor here will be plugged into, which can do 1440p, 144 Hertz. And I noticed something. When I unraveled this USB-C cable, I noticed this extra USB-A end was actually a much shorter cable. So obviously these two are supposed to go into the same side. I'm going to assume, and it's really weird that it's not anywhere in the guide, but I'm gonna assume that advanced pass-through doesn't work unless it has extra power, which is what this extra USB is for. And it looks like it doesn't require any extra software from EVGA to get it working. So let's just plug it in. Okay, both USBs. Let's see how this thing lights up. Is it? There we go. All right. It's kind of neat. That was a teeny bit underwhelming. All right, right out of the gate, we definitely lowered our resolution down to 1080/60. Keep in mind, we're going pass-through this card right now. And looking at OBS, it is also capturing in 1080p. Let's just double check here. Yeah, monitor resolution, 1080/60. Although important to note, I'm not seeing a serious delay or any quality issues in the capture. Let's give this advanced pass-through a shot and then fire up a game. Hold that button down for 3 seconds. The lights turn white. Everything freaks out. Hey, there's 1440p. Where is our... Come on, you got this. So we've lost the signal here. Let me see what happens when I type in a custom resolution. 2560 by 1440p. No, absolutely nothing. Deactivate it and reactivate it. Huh. The pass-through works. I can't show you because it's well, no longer capturing anything, but looking at NVIDIA control panel here, it's no longer showing the display as the capture card. It's showing the display as the AOC monitor. Usually when you go pass through a capture card, it sees the capture card as the monitor, and then the capture card just displays what it sees. It passes through passively. But this one is actually showing the monitor as my display, which is really interesting. And I'm able to go all the way up to 1440p, 144 hertz. Let's try a couple things. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe there's something wrong. Both of these cables are plugged into USB 3 ports. Let's see if we unplug that second one. Let's try plugging into a USB 3 10 gigabit port. See if that changes anything. Okay, we're back to 1080p because resetting it, reset the advanced pass-through. Let's turn on advanced pass-through again. We get 1440p and nothing over here. Let's even switch this to 144 hertz, see what happens. It did say it passed through 1440p 120 hertz. Maybe it's gotta be 120. Let's try that. I'm definitely seeing 1440p 120 hertz here. The pass-through works great, but it can't seem to capture anything. Yeah, no matter what settings I have it on. Can't get it to do anything. Huh. Well, this might be a short video. I wonder what percentage of people that use this capture card are gonna have these issues. This might just be a bum card, or it could be just a flaw in the entire design, and I have no idea. I can't reach out to EVGA, they didn't send me this one. I mentioned I was gonna do build quality, features, and value. Build quality, I'd probably give a 4. If we're giving something like the HD60S, something that feels solid, but maybe also feels a little outdated in style, probably give that like a 7 or an 8. I think I'd give this thing a 4. I like the mirrored top. The LED lights are kind of neat. I can't handle how cheap and light this thing feels. And this button is 100% gonna break in a couple weeks if you use it at all. Features. I mean, how do you judge features when they say it has features but they don't work? Just based off the advertisement alone, what it's supposed to be able to do. For $179, it is the only capture card that can pass through both 1440p and high refresh rates. The next closest one that can do that would be the AVermedia Live Gamer Ultra, which can actually pass through 1440p 144 hertz, not just 120 hertz. And it can also capture in 1440p 60 or 4K 30. For theoretical features, I think I want to give this thing an 8. And I'll give it a high score just because it's apparently supposed to be able to pass through 1440p 120 hertz, which is solid for this price point. It's the only one for this price point. However, realistically, gotta give this thing a 2 because it actually doesn't do that. At least this one doesn't. And in terms of value, I mean, at the end of the day, the more companies that jump into the streaming space, the better. It is so hard to find a capture card right now that having one that's in stock that you can pick up if you need, especially if you just need 1080/60, is a great thing to exist. And compared to the other $179 capture cards I've seen, it does the same thing. I didn't have any problems with 1080/60. However, I was hoping to be able to suggest this to people that were gaming in 1440p high refresh rates, and I just can't. If you're looking to do any of that with an external capture card, if it's 4K 60, both the Live Gamer Ultra and the HD60S Plus are great. I actually use the S Plus on my rig. But if you're looking for 1440p, which none of Elgato's external capture cards can do, I was really hoping to be able to suggest this thing, but I'd probably recommend you spend an extra $20 and get the AVermedia Live Gamer Ultra. So for value, with what it does combined with its build quality and size, and I guess also just the fact that half the features out of the box don't work, so who knows how long this thing's gonna last in 1080/60, probably a 3. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe EVGA will reach out, send me a replacement card, we'll give it another test, and maybe this is just a fluke. So just make sure you're following me on Twitter and Twitch and pop in my stream sometime and see if there's been any updates on this thing, because I'm not gonna lie, this is a serious bummer. It's just weird trying to make a capture card video and then the capture card doesn't work. I mean, it is what it is. Hope it helped. And as always, happy streaming.